sky and judging moves every time. I don't know who am I don't know who am I. Beautiful eyes in the sky. I think that I'm living a lie. I don't know who am I don't know who am I. I think that I'm living a lie. Stuck in the past, so full of survive. Stuck in a trance, so hypnotized. Being faced with lies, niggas here trying to watch me. I stand tall like a majesty. Gotta act hard so they don't get to me. I'm a fucking beast and a peace being. Push hard, you see the old me. That nigga ain't really used to fix things. Now they judging me. If a nigga flip out, they gon' 12 on me. Gotta be uptight just to celebrate. I put up the finger to reality. I really don't fuck with the I lived in that actuality. Face you can really fucking die to me. So I wrote the song to help the self-esteem. Other niggas stand tall right next to me. Think we later for a dress and there's more lost people who's relate 10. Hardships test, I'm the great 10. Beautiful eyes in the sky and judging moves every time. I don't know who am I don't know who am I. Beautiful eyes in the sky that I'm leaving a lie. I don't know who am I don't know who am I. Erek, Loyd. Beautiful eyes in the sky and judging moves every time. I don't know who am I don't know who am I. Beautiful eyes in the sky. I think that I'm living a lie. I don't know who am I don't know who am I. I think that I'm living a lie. Stuck in the past, so full of survive. Stuck in a trance, so hypnotized. Being faced with lies, niggas here trying to watch me. I stand tall like a majesty. Gotta act hard so they don't get to me. I'm a fucking beast and a peace being. Push hard, you see the old me. That nigga ain't really used to fix things. Now they judging me. If a nigga flip out, they gon' 12 on me. I gotta be uptight just to celebrate. I put up the finger to reality. I really don't fuck with the fallacies. I wish we lived in actualities. Face you can really fucking die to me. I couldn't kill myself so cowardly. So I wrote the song to help the self-esteem. Other niggas stand tall right next to me. Think we later for a dress and there's more lost people who's relate 10. Hardships test, I'm the great 10. Beautiful eyes in the sky and judging moves every time. I don't know who am I don't know who am I. Beautiful eyes in the sky. I think that I'm living a lie. I don't know who am I don't know who am I. I feel that And while I'm fighting to achieve my fucking goals, I'm so obsessed with the quest that it is so absurd. I hope I don't end up in the back of a hearse. I'm focused on my time that I had left on earth. I hope my mama never had to put me in the dirt. I'm contemplating getting a couple bitches, have them in the fucking kitchen and they cooking up that word. You think I'm tripping, but I am so disturbed. I'm fucking twisted, I'm so sadistic, but I'm a mystic. Just in case you missed it, pay attention, shut up and listen. I believe in God's high and mighty godly existence. Ayo, 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 ayo. Tryna get my money right, just listen to my songs. I'm gonna be a movie star on your radio. Ayo, 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 ayo. I'm tryna get my shot, I'm aiming for the stars. Sleeping on me now, I won't know just who you are. Sleeping on me is a really foolish thing. I'm hunted by all these dreams. That's something I must achieve. I'm steady grinding. I'm trying to be the man I dream. I wanna be crowned a king, but I'm stuck in reality. Ayo, ayo, ayo. I want you to know that I am going to blow. Ayo, 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 ayo.
What's going on? What's going on, every mother-loving body? My name is Erek Loyd, YK in a mother-loving building. Okay? I'm trying to get myself situated because this show right here is going to be a good mother lover here because everybody and they mama are interested in the Titanic. If you've seen before, okay, my countdown was a little longer than usual because I had fucked around and misspelled Titanic. I didn't put too many T's in Titanic, goddammit, okay? Now, viewers' discretion is advised. I cuss like a sailor, okay? And this is a different, if you see me in person, I'm a total different mother lover, okay? I'm sitting out here, hi, TT, ta-ta, my name is Erek Loyd. How may I help you? Okay, that's what the hell I'm on. So if you ever see me in public, don't expect this ignorant bastard, okay? Because in most cases, I'm trying to be professional. And I'm looking at my screen and I'm frozen in place, okay? I don't know what the hell's going on. Hopefully you niggas can see me, okay? I got a 30-second delay on my screen. See, look at this shit here. What is going on? My shit's fucked up. I might have to call it quits. Nah, goddammit. Lord have mercy. Ladies and gentlemen, the quality is already trash in a goddamn self. Excuse me while I deal with this sad sack of nonsense that we finna get into. But first and foremost, yes, I misspelled Titanic. Okay, I called it Titantech. Okay, that's what the hell I put. I put a T at the end, and I fucked up. Okay, so with that being said, I had to rearrange some shit, and I forgot to do it to my countdown. I got the thumbnail, everything ready to go in this motherfucker. It's just the countdown, I had fucked that up. So here we go, Titanic, not Titantech, okay? Amen. Holla at your boy.
God damn, what a big old ass. What's the mathematics? What's the mathematics? Yo, mama, can a brother holler at you? Holler, holler, holler. Holler at you, holler, holler at you, holler at you, holler, 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 holler. You, brother, can a brother holler at you? I know a little, are you gay? I know a little homosexual Mexican love to have you, boy. You spending bucks, big bucks, big bucks, big bucks. Love you, have you, love you, have you, love you, have you.
Love to have you mother lovers here today because this is going to be a great hell of a show. I might glitch like a motherfucker. And in fact, we are having technical difficulties to my understanding. Lord, now I done did everything I could. I didn't try to pack. This could be an hour show. Easy. But you're starting to piss me off. So get it together, nigga. And you know what? Because of this submersible situation that happened, I had to say, fuck it. We are going live.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Right. Fucking thing sucks.
Ladies and gentlemen, my show already from the get-go is going off the rails. Okay? I apologize in advance. But if you niggas got anything to say, you can say my show is trash as hell. Just say it in the goddamn comments, punk ass niggas.
Search and rescue teams are in the North Atlantic working to find a missing tourist submarine near the Titanic wreckage. We've just received word from ABC News there were 5 people on board this submersible. The search is taking place off the coast of Cape Cod. The U.S. Coast Guard is leading the search along with Canadian military and the Coast Guard. The company OceanGate Expeditions reported this submarine missing this morning. Again, we are just getting word there were 5 people on board. The company did say there were tourists on board, but until this moment, they really had not.
Okay. As you can see, the show is going off the rails. The shit done glitched out. I done hit the wrong goddamn button. And I can't even get through my proper intro. God damn it. Say it in the comment. Clearly this show is trash and you have the freedom to say it right now.
About this on the show before. You have African American rappers saying N-word this and N-word that, but a Caucasian can't.
So say it.
Say what?
Say the word you want to say.
I'm not saying that I want to say it. I'm just saying that I can't.
Sure you can. Say it. Say it right now. I will say it with you.
Okay, this is hypocritical. You know we can't.
Sure you can. This is America. Both of you.
So, if, just in case you niggas need to know, I'm going to give you the itinerary of the show. Let me make sure my mic ain't muted like a motherfucker, because that's clearly what the hell would happen in this motherfucker. We are first. We are first going to talk about OceanGate, the submersible. What happened, the mystery upon it, and yeah, we're going to cover that. And we can't talk about a submersible, goddamn, getting lost in sea in a graveyard of the damn Titanic. We can't talk about that without talking about the actual Titanic, since we ain't never did that shit. So that's what the hell we're gonna do. Let me disable some clips in this motherfucker. This clip that wanted to play beforehand, I'm gonna go ahead and press you, bastard. So you can go ahead and play, and since, cause you wanna jump the motherfucking gun, go ahead and say it, nigga.
Search and rescue teams are in the North Atlantic working to find a missing tourist submarine near the Titanic wreckage. We've just received word from ABC News there were 5 people on board this submersible. The search is taking place off the coast of Cape Cod. The U.S. Coast Guard is leading the Canadian military, and the company OceanGate Expeditions reported this submarine missing this morning. Again, we are just getting word there were 5 people on board. The company did say there were tourists on board, but until this moment, they really had not acknowledged how many. The company's website says its submarines can carry up to 5 people. OceanGate Expeditions say it is exploring all options to bring the crew back safely.
Now, first and foremost, I want to say I'm going to cover this story as if I'm the first news bastard you done heard. You might have heard updated details. We will get to that in the portions of the show. Trust and believe. But I just want to pray real quick. Lord, please don't have me put 9mm in my mother-loving computer. Because I will, Lord. And I know you have been giving me the patience of a saint. And I am finna throw all that shot out of the window in the name of Jesus. Because if my computer don't start working right the hell now, 9mm is going to be in this motherfucking future. In the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you. And I love you. Amen. Now, I just had to get that up out the way. 9mm is finna be in this motherfucking Macintosh today if you keep playing with me. Okay? But just to cover, this news source broke earlier in the day or earlier in the week when the situation first happened that the wreck ended up being in place. Okay? Oh, well, I'm sorry. Let me get my shit together. Please. Sorry, don't click off yet. Don't click off quite yet, boss. You wanna learn about the Titanic? You keep watching, goddammit. I know it sounds ignorant in this. You finna learn some shit. Let me get to it, okay? But this submarine was supposed to go down and view the Titanic wreckage. Then it goes missing. Okay? So let's go into the missing Titanic submarine.
5 people were on board the Titan tourist submarine when it went missing during an expedition to the wreck of the Titanic in the Atlantic Ocean, 3,810 metres below sea level. They include British billionaire and explorer Hamish Harding. The 58-year-old has a wife named Linda and 4 children, including 2 stepkids. Harding has done many trips to the South Pole. He also travelled to space with Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin company in 2022. French pilot Paul-Henri Nazolet. He is a 77-year-old former French Navy commander who has been on over 35 dives to the Titanic wreck site. King Charles's Princess Trust Charity Board member Shahada Daoud and his son Solomon. The 48-year-old British businessman is a descendant of one of Pakistan's wealthiest families. His son is reportedly 19 years old. And OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush. The 61-year-old is the founder of the company behind the mission to the Titanic. A ticket on board costs $364,000 per person, and until now, no submersible at the site has ever gone missing.
Okay, so the track record of submersibles, especially going towards the Titanic, they've never been missing, right? But this is the first of OceanGate model going down there. They've sent models down there before successfully, but none of this specific stature. So we're going to go inside the Titanic submersible, currently missing in the Atlantic.
It's got one button, and that's it. Yeah, so we run the sub with this game controller. It's made by Logitech, but it's basically a Sony PlayStation style controller. If you want to go forward, you press forward. If you want to go back, you press back. You want to turn to the left, it's like that. You want to turn to the right, you turn to the right.
Hold up. Now, I get the technology part, right? I mean, the submersible don't look that technology savvy, but its controls is a wireless controller. Now, I don't know if you niggas know. I'm sure every motherfucker know. You put some water on some electronics, and that bitch don't work no more. Especially the wireless ones, okay? So, we don't have a connectivity line to put in place. It doesn't even sound like it has an emergency exit plan, okay? It's that, I mean, hey, I don't think I want to be undersea, thousands of feet under, being controlled by a goddamn PlayStation controller, okay? Now, we done seen videos of niggas driving goddamn cars, but if we are thousands of feet under, when niggas have died, I don't think I want to be anywhere inside somewhere that's controlled with a wireless PlayStation controller. I off the top of the rip, that's a red flag right there. Nigga, what happens if some shut the power off in this motherfucker? What you gonna do then? You forgot, you put water on electronics, that bitch is gonna die. My bitch ass sitting here with a PlayStation controller. My punk ass done fell asleep playing the game, sitting in this very motherfucking spot. My motherfucking son grabs some juice and just throws it in my lap with my hand on the controller. Okay, I wake the fuck up like, what the hell? All right, I'm fucking fine. Have you ever went to sleep and had water splashed on your motherfucking ass? Okay, it's not the greatest feeling in the world. In fact, I tell my baby mama to do it just in case it's hard to wake my black ass up. So in most cases, you got to put water on my ass. And I wake up mad and discombobulated like a bastard, okay? And that's what happened now. I'm discombobulated and shit. I'm like, oh, fuck. What the hell? I done threw my controller down somewhere. I come back, the bitch ain't never turned on again. Ever again. So, just saying. That's already some bad shit right there. It was soda compared to the motherfucking salt sea, okay? I'm just saying. Let's go inside some more to the submersible. Typically, was supposed to be used for the Titanic expedition.
What's it like being inside that vessel? A CBS report from last year gave us a look.
Inside, the sub has about as much room as a minivan.
So this is not your grandfather's submersible. We only have one button, that's it. It should be like an elevator. You know, it shouldn't take a lot of skill. I got these from Camper World. We run the whole thing with this game controller.
Come on! Let's go to Gabe Cohen, who was on board this submersible in 2018.
What struck me was how simple some of the technology seemed. It is this tiny vessel. It's very cramped. It's small. It can only fit 5 people on board. Operated, as you saw, by a gaming controller, what essentially looks like a PlayStation controller. And yet the company was confident that this vessel could safely make this remarkable journey, that it could dive 13,000 feet into the ocean and handle 150 million pounds of pressure.
I'm sorry. I just don't. I mean, this shit look like, listen, I understand if you guys are watching this, you know what the fuck happened. I'm going to get to that point later in the point, but this shit seemed doomed from the fucking jump. Okay? I mean, Lord have mercy. What the hell? I mean, Jesus Christ. You got billionaires in this motherfucker, and you mean to tell me you couldn't have $1 billion motherfucking thing to put them under? Not too many niggas go down that goddamn low. And you mean to tell me you in a mini van size shit? At least when goddamn Amazon nigga went to in space, he had some shit worthy. He put some paper down on that shit. This shit looked like it only took a goddamn year to make. And apparently not, because it was in 2018. What the hell have y'all been doing? Did you properly test this motherfucker through the harshest conditions? You got billionaires riding this motherfucker paying $300,000 for a ticket. What are we even talking about here? My black ass would have seen the red flag, and I'm paying $300,000 for this bullshit? Where's Jeff Bezos? Nigga, take me to space. I'm not fucking with no sea. You can kiss my black ass. I don't even eat seafood. That's how much I don't fuck with the sea. I go to the beach, okay, fuck with the waves and all that. But when there's animals and shit start getting on me, I'm not interested. Okay? I am not interested. Okay? I'm not interested to see them motherfuckers. Okay? If you got Titanic photos, send them up here. Because I'm not going my black ass down there in any of these circumstances. Especially in a mini van sized motherfucker. Y'all niggas out of control. Niggas with money just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. 300,000? I can slap my ass for 300,000. Sure, let's do it. The hell? Let's uncover the shocking truth about the Titanic submersible wreckage.
It's here that at 6 a.m. on Sunday, the submersible was launched. Now, the descent to the North Atlantic floor is 3,800 meters, and it should have taken around 2.5 hours. But around 1 hour and 45 minutes in, all contact with the vessel was lost. The Titan carries 4 passengers and 1 pilot, with very little space actually on board and no room really to move around or to stand up because it's just 6.7 meters long. So for reference, that's about a third longer than you're seeing here.
I mean, nigga. And then, this is the first mission, by the way, very similar to the Titanic of this specific model, with 1 fucking button and a goddamn wireless controller pushing it forward and backwards. You got it packed to capacity with 5 niggas on board. You ain't never sent this shit out with billionaires on board. Can somebody make sense of this shit? So, once the day goes by, few hours go by, still the people, OceanGate reports it missing. It turns into a few days, and then it becomes a search to find the submersible.
This is what the OceanGate expedition sub looks like. The 5 people on board right now, including 2 crew members and Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood and his son, as well as billionaire Hamish Harding, who posted this on Instagram the day before, saying, due to the worst winter in Newfoundland in 40 years, this mission is likely the first and only manned mission to the Titanic in 2023, 13,000 feet below sea level, which is uncharted territory for most rescue teams. An expert who's been on this vessel told News Nation, even if it's located, the rescue is still near impossible.
There's only 3 operating subs in the world that can go to that depth. Okay, so even if they find our sub with the sonar, there's absolutely nothing they can do about it. There's no way to bring it back to the surface. There's no way to let them escape. That the hatch, by the way, is sealed with 17 bolts from the outside. So there's no way to escape when you're inside to get out without a crew on the outside letting you out.
God damn. God bless those people, bro. On God. Because, you know, and this was a few days. I didn't jump on it. I don't usually jump on things for a minute, but this is a tragedy. And once again, here's an update.
There's about 40 hours of breathable air left based on that initial report. Again, that was just the initial report based on 96 hours.
OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush is on board the vessel, along with British billionaire and owner of Action Aviation Hamish Harding, prominent Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood and his son Sulman, and French diver Paul Henry Nargeolet, known by some as Mr. Titanic.
Since Sunday, the Coast Guard has coordinated search efforts with the U.S. and Canadian Coast Guard, Air National Guard aircraft, and the Polar Prince, which have searched a combined 7,600 square miles, an area larger than the state of Connecticut. To date, those search efforts have not yielded any results.
I mean, goddamn, people. Like, the more I think about this shit, the more it pisses me off. Now, what the hell, people? Now, come on, goddammit. Come on, Jesus. This bullshit is sealed off where the niggas can't even get out if they wanted to. And I had to pay $300,000? Oh, no. The search continues, looking for the submersible.
Just this morning, the Canadians had a P3 out on the scene, dropping a sonar buoy to again listen for any signs, trying to hear the sound of that missing submersible and also maybe any tapping or voices from underwater. But this is incredibly deep. The Titanic sits 2.5 miles underwater at that depth. No diver can get out of a submersible, and even a top-of-the-line Navy sub could not dive that deep. The question is this submarine still intact? We do know that when it was going into the water Sunday morning, it had about 4 days of air on board. It's now gone through 2 days of that air. So the question is, how much more air do they have?
So as the days went on, this is what's going on in the news. Okay, so there's sonar that's been dropped to try to hear for signs of life. And that gives a hopeful feeling to everybody. But the problem is there's a time limit because there's only a certain amount of hours of predicted air that they would be able to breathe under there. If they lost power with their wireless goddamn controller, they would only have, at this point of this clip, 40 hours in order to be rescued. And if the bitch is all the way down by the Titanic, which is where it was headed, it would be nearly impossible within the time frame to get them. Let alone if they had some time and wiggle room, it would be almost impossible to get them. And they're asking if the damn thing is intact. Which you got to remember, at that deep in the ocean is a bunch of fucking pressure. Here's sign of life. during the search zone.
Possible signs of life have been detected in the area where the tourist submarine has vanished while exploring the Titanic.
A leaked email today from the Department of Homeland Security indicating a Canadian aircraft detected banging sounds in the area every 30 minutes. 4 hours later, additional sonar was deployed and banging was still heard.
Very hopeful, raised my hopes through the roof. And with a bit of caution is that, for instance, in Malaysian Air, we heard all sorts of things we were sure was the aircraft, and they turned out not to be.
Rescuers do not have the equipment necessary to conduct a rescue, but there is help on the way. A French research vessel with an autonomous diving robot is headed to the site. Canada are sending the Horizon Arctic, which is a state-of-the-art offshore ship. However, that won't get to the site for another 36 hours. At the moment, officials estimate there is less than 26 hours of oxygen remaining for the 5 men on board.
Once again, at this point in the week, now mind you, this is the week that just passed. We're moving today. It is Sunday morning. Okay, so this is throughout the whole week of this specific week. Okay, at this point, they're trying to get help. The United States and Canada are helping to find these bastards in the name of Jesus. No disrespect. They're trying to find these folks. But the damn equipment to help find them or even locate them is going to take the maximum amount of time where their air is going to be out. So this is a very damning situation. And my thinking is, why the fuck weren't these things, protections and safeties, put in place? How could you have that? It reminds me of the Titanic. Oh, it's unsinkable. Oh, well, this shit is, I don't know what the hell y'all was called. The Titan, which was made by a motherfucking another author hundreds of years ago, which was the same predicting the damn Titanic. Very interesting that they use the same words. Also very interesting that there was the same ignorance thinking that that shit wouldn't be sinkable. Or that it wouldn't have dangers where you can use a fucking wireless controller. I mean, goddamn, we use damn bitch-ass controllers. These motherfuckers half-ass work. You got the fucked up batteries. You got to pop that motherfucker to get it working, okay? Some niggas from the hood know what it is. Have you ever had to put batteries in a motherfucking refrigerator to regenerate some kind of life into them batteries? Oh, some of y'all niggas don't know what it's like. I'm telling you, they're not reliable. And then you add water to the mix. Oh, you done fucked up altogether. But noise was picked up by the sonars.
What chance a successful rescue, Frank?
My confidence level has been increased by an order of magnitude since these reports have come in of banging, particularly because they've been using a naval protocol that's used by submarine survivors of a disabled submarine around the world, in that on the hour and a half hour for 3 minutes, they bang the hull and make as much noise as they can, and the searching forces go quiet for that period. It smacks of advice coming from the French former naval officer who's on board, Paul-Henri Najal, who is a former diver, and he would therefore be very familiar with the procedures. So the fact that they're doing this smacks of somebody who understands what the searching forces might be thinking about.
And as you guys seen in the clip before, we were saying how the guy was like, with the Malaysia situation, thinking it was something that it wasn't. And now they're saying specifically as far as those knocking sounds, and that was a few days ago. I remember when that first came out, because I was thinking about doing a show and thinking on topics to cover. And I'm like, oh, okay, so knocking, signs of life, okay, hopefully they get them. Let's hear the knocking.
Have you ever heard the last audio from the Titan submarine? Well, they just found it, and what they heard gave them the chills, and you'll want to listen till the end too. But what's actually scary is the audio they found from hell. Click the pin links and comments if you're brave enough.
Go subscribe to that bastard in the name of Jesus. Make sure y'all subscribe. I use all these clips and fair use. I want y'all not to forget that, because this channel's just coming for me. And I got one more copyright strike and my ass is out. Okay? And hey, there is a thing called fair use. Not a lot of people respect that, okay? But goddamn it, you gotta know what the laws and the rules are. Goddamn it. And we are using this for educational purposes only, okay? So, that's the knocking. People thought that was sounds of them trying to communicate to be found. I mean, shit, if I'm near the goddamn Titanic, I'm dead. If I'm seeing the bitch fucking sank in 1912, I'm dead. If I am at the bottom, I don't give a fuck if we make it back to the top. Nigga, I done died. Because my black ass wasn't supposed to see this with my very own eyes. Okay? Shit. A submarine taking tourists to see the Titanic goes wrong. Clearly, because my black ass would have died instantly when I seen that shit.
Let's talk about the submersible that's been missing in the Atlantic since June 18th. The sub belongs to an underwater tour company called OceanGate, and the passengers on board paid $250,000 for a seat to see the Titanic wreckage up close. Experts are saying the search will be complicated because its mothership lost all communication with the sub, but that's not its only problem. Coast Guards from the US and Canada started searching the Atlantic on Monday. If they find it at the bottom of the ocean, they'll need a robot vessel to bring it to land, but very few of those robot vessels even exist. What's scarier is that the sub is locked from the outside with at least 17 bolts, so the passengers have absolutely no way out unless someone finds them. As of right now, the race is on to find the missing sub before they run out of air sometime Thursday afternoon.
And look, at this point, by Thursday didn't pass, we're here on Sunday. At that point, they have ran out of air, which means at that point, all 5 of those people must have passed.
Any updates with the Titanic submarine? We have found the submarine. All right, and yeah, don't get excited. The submarine was destroyed. Oh no, how? Well, it's from the pressure. So what about the 5 people who were there? Well, they all died, but at least it was instant death. They did not suffer. Instant because of the pressure. Yep, that's really sad, and no one can sue the company, right? Nope, they signed pretty thorough waivers, but we'll see how it goes.
I mean, yeah. And the reason why they had to sign thorough, I used the clip in fair use before I started talking crazy. So go subscribe to him, okay, and his channel. Once again, I used the clip only in fair use for educational purposes. But the reason they signed thorough damn documents is because them bastards knew that shit wasn't ready to go. Now, I mean, you just take it on face value of the red flags we didn't already put forth about it. Of course they passed. And God rest their soul, man. That's fucking sad. You mean this shit should have been on television. Any motherfucking thing that's on television got backup support like there's no motherfucking tomorrow. You see, Amazon bastard, Jeff Bezos, put that shit front and center on TV. Just in case we died, you get to see it up close. They should have put that shit on. You should have invested some more shit. God damn it. That should have been on Channel 5 News. From the jump. Because you got billionaires in that shit. You got a damn billionaire with his damn 19-year-old kid, bro. It reminds me so much of the Kobe Bryant and his daughter situation. It's sad. I think the CEO was there too. He died. He was in his 60s. Bro, why did this go forward? Why was this pushed so fast? And now today, current day, all 5 of those people are dead.
Sadly, the 5 people aboard the Submersible have been pronounced dead by OceanGate, the company leading the expedition. OceanGate has released a statement saying those on board the Titan vessel have sadly been lost, calling them true explorers who shared a distinct spirit of adventure and a deep passion for exploring and protecting the world's oceans. The announcement comes hours after debris was found floating near the wreckage, sending thoughts and prayers to the family and friends of those who lost their lives. May they rest in peace.
Y'all bastards and caught me in the smoke break. And I think it's only respectable to give a moment of silence for those who have passed. I know this show can be insulting. I know that I could come off, crazy or try, but seriously, let's give a moment of silence to the ones that passed because they deserve it. All right. My black ass had to be careful because I'm liable to go to sleep at any moment. Okay? I don't know if you seen a couple streams ago. I had to restart this motherfucker. Welcome to the show again, guys. Okay? I got to be careful around this motherfucker. They say that the Titan, had imploded. So here's more or less what the implosion of the submarine would look like. That's tough, man. And it's instant. Good thing they didn't suffer. Hopefully that was the case. We don't know. They say they didn't suffer, but we wasn't there. Hopefully they did not suffer. But the CEO strangely had a connection to the Titanic passengers back in the past.
OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush, one of 5 people who died this week on a trip to see the wreckage of the Titanic, is actually married to a descendant of a famous couple who gave their lives to save other passengers on the Titanic itself. In fact, they actually inspired this scene in the movie Titanic. Wendy Rush is the great-great-granddaughter of Ida and Isidore Strauss, who were first-class passengers on the Titanic. And what they did that fateful night was so significant, it even inspired James Cameron to depict them in his 1997 blockbuster film. Both Ida and Isidore had seats on a lifeboat, but Isidore, who was 67, refused to take up the space until every other younger person also had a seat. And when he refused, so did Ida, who was 63 at the time. She reportedly told her husband, "Where you go, I go." So instead, Ida gave her seat and fur coat to their maid, saying she would no longer need it.
Woo. That shit there. Imagine having to make that decision, bro. So, this is my theory. In no shape or form is this fact. Right now. But I believe that they died the day it went missing. The day that they ended up going down there. They lost connection within an hour. It was supposed to be a 2-hour situation. The only way they would have lost connection is unless the situation on the inside were to get damaged. And when you're dealing with electronics, once you add water to the mix, it shuts down the electronics. Hence why they lost communication within that first hour or so. They died, in my opinion, within that first hour. That submachine wasn't equipped enough to go down to that depth. There wasn't enough test. And from the eye test, the shit didn't look right. it imploded. And they all died supposedly instantly. What's poppin'? Welcome to the chat, Charlie. Make sure you hit the goddamn like, and I appreciate you. That's what I think on what happened, based on all the evidence that we just covered here. That is indeed the truth, and will come out in the news of what happened. After they lost communication, that's exactly when they died. So this search, this knocking, all that did not have anything to do with them themselves. God rest the souls of the people that pass. I pray God give the strength to the family members to get through that. But now it's time to move towards our Holla Break. See, it got real sorrow. Okay, we covering deep, dark shit. But it's going to get interesting going into history-wise. I know this is new. I know the wounds are fresh, goddammit. But sometimes you got to move forward. And they going to have to move forward. Grieve now, but you niggas going to have to move forward. Amen? And now, we're going to take a motherfucking Holla Break.
Holla, 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 holla at you. Holla at you, baby. Holla at you. Holla, 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 holla. Holla, 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 holla at you. Holla at you, holla at you, holla at you. Baby, holla at you, holla at you, holla at you. Holla at you, holla, 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 holla. Holla at you, at you, holla, 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 holla. Holla, 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 holla. Holla, 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 holla. Holla, holla, holla.
Holla at your motherfucking boy. Holla girlfriend, what you on, baby?
I ain't got no dick in me for 3 months. Don't talk to me if your shit ain't a tree trunk. I like loving likes and mellow, chill like Wiz Khalifa, Mandy, maybe black and yellow.
Holla, 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 holla at you. Holla at you, baby. Holla at you. Holla, 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 holla. Holla, 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 holla at you. Holla at you, holla at you, holla at you. Baby, holla at you, holla at you, holla at you. Holla at you, holla, 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 holla. Holla at you, at you, holla, 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 holla. Holla, 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 holla. Holla, 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 holla. Holla, holla, holla.
Goddamn, nigga. Now you done had to cut the bitch off. Goddamn. This nigga, hey, bitch, you done said that too many times. He trying to put a chain on that hoe. Goddamn, brother. Did you just fuck around and have insecurities or something? You done put a chain on that bitch. Goddamn, brother. Now the hoe can't talk to us no more. God bless. Grandma Holla, how do you feel about the niggas that died in the Titanic? Not the submersible, but the Titanic. How you feel? Because I know your ass done met some of them bastards before they died. How you feel about them?
Come on now, do it! They said create Holla only fans. So I line up the dicks and sucks tonight.
What? See Holla?
Meaning, mighty mo. Come on, baby, bring some mo.
Okay. She will line them up and suck them up tonight. Amen. Let's take a look at the Titanic if it would have happened in 2022.
My God.
Captain, the lifeboats are ready to go. Should we load the women and children first?
No, men and children first.
Excuse me, sir? It's 2022, Private. A woman can handle a sinking ship just as well as a man can. And if you don't think so, you're a misogynistic asshole stuck in 2008. Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, for the time being, I am requiring men and children only.
Are you kidding me?
It's 2022. This is what you wanted. You wanted to be treated equal to men? Well, this is how men are treated. Like
No, we don't. We just say that half the time. We don't actually believe in it.
Yeah, we do. Come on, we're just as capable as men are. Shut up! I identify as a man! 2022!
Jack, do you think I could go up on the door?
It's 2022, Rose. I wouldn't want to imply that you can't handle the ice cold water the same way a man could.
I think I'm dying, Jack.
I love 2022.
That's hilarious. And I definitely felt some type of way when that bitch let Jack go, bitch. Now, you could have held on to his motherfucking ass. Okay, he could have been dead as hell right there. But you bringing that nigga corpse with you and everything. I know you done met this nigga for the first time in your motherfucking life on this goddamn trip, bitch. But goddamn it. What if that was Jack on that motherfucker? You couldn't add Jack's skinny ass on that motherfucking piece of wood? Now come on, goddammit. Say, hey, we got to survive. You get one end, I got the other end. Well, hey, we gonna have to float on this motherfucker together. Goddammit. Your selfish ass let this nigga freeze his ass off. But yeah, you got two old people sitting there laying in the bed together, ready to die, to give up their seat for proper people. And to be fair, while I'm talking shit, Rose did give up her seat to go get with Jack. Okay? She did do that. I done watched the movie 1,000 times, and after this motherfucking show, I'm finna watch it again. Tonight. So let me stop talking shit. But let's take a look at the lost souls of the Titanic, the recovery.
Recovery projects of the Titanic began the day after the sinking. The Titanic carried loved ones of some of the most powerful families in the world, so groups sprang up to try and recover the bodies that had gone down with the sinking. However, the technology and information of the time was simply not there. Some ideas for recovering the entirety of the ship's wreckage from the ocean floor included filling the hull with various objects, such as ping pong balls and 180,000 tons of Vaseline. There was also an idea put forth that freezing the entire ship in a giant iceberg would cause it to float to the ocean's surface. Recovery efforts called into question the morality of the excavation because the wreckage of the Titanic is a grave site for hundreds of deceased persons. To hear more about these expeditions, please subscribe to Loth Investigations Missing Persons channel.
Very informational. Make sure y'all go check them out. That's very crazy, all the things that they tried. Once again, I use this clip in fair use. It's very interesting, the things that they tried to recover. But once it goes that deep, and I'm sure at that point they didn't even understand ocean pressures, because by that point niggas wasn't trying to go to the Mariana Trench or whatever the hell. They didn't understand the pressures at that time, I believe, in 1912. God damn it. So here's the real story behind finding the Titanic.
In the 1980s, the US Navy ran a secret operation to find the wreck of the famous passenger liner RMS Titanic. But this operation was not what you think. The US Navy didn't care much about finding the Titanic, but they cared a lot about their two nuclear-powered submarines that had been lost a few decades earlier. So when Robert Ballard, who was a retired Navy personnel and a professor of oceanography, approached them about a project, the US Navy made a deal with Ballard, which eventually led to the finding of Titanic. But that was just the cover story, a classified cover story that was only declassified in the 2000s. Want to know the full story and what happened to those submarines? Check out our full-length video using the link in the description.
Man, go shout out to them. Go goddamn subscribe to them and their channel. Once again, I use the clip in fair use. I'm saying this after every clip. I think it's going to try to come for my motherfucking ass. Because they do. They'll send a strike to your motherfucking ass, smoothed in hell. And I'm just trying to educate people. Thanks to y'all and your little clips that I'm using in fair use, goddammit. These clips don't bring any value to my show. I can sit here and talk the motherfucking whole day with pictures, but I am trying to show love to other channels. Once again, I use it in fair use. Go subscribe to them motherfuckers. Let's take a look at CNN, and they definitely finna hit my ass. God damn it. I'm using this clip in fair use before Don Lemon Anderson Cooper bring his salt and pepper head ass on today.
We're getting a never-before-seen look at the Titanic wreckage deep in the Atlantic Ocean. It's the first full-size digital scan of perhaps the history's most famous shipwreck. A team of scientists carried out what they called the largest underwater scanning project in history. It's incredible to see it like this. It creates a digital twin of the Titanic wreck with incredible clarity. The scan was done last summer by Magellan, a deep-sea mapping company, and Atlantic Productions, who were making a documentary. They took more than 700,000 images. They created this 3D reconstruction. The hope is it'll provide new answers on what happened when the Titanic sank.
Definitely got to check them out. Once again, I use the clip in fair motherfucking use. I see another motherfucking person in this motherfucker. Hit the like, goddammit. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for showing up. Now hit the like or the dislike. I don't really give a damn. I just need interaction. And this is why the Titanic is disappearing.
The Titanic is disappearing at an alarming rate. Scientists are estimating that it will be completely gone within 20 years, and this is due to it being eaten away by bacteria and other marine life. New footage shows the captain's bathtub, a favorite image among Titanic enthusiasts. It's almost completely dissolved at this point. The Titanic currently resides about 2 miles below the North Atlantic, and while there have been many schemes proposed to raise the Titanic, with its current condition, there's just no way that can happen without severe damage. Not to mention, letting the ship rest and disappear in peace is probably the more ethical thing to do.
It's a goddamn gravesite. I know we want to goddamn put every goddamn thing in museums. But please, we got technology like there's no motherfucking tomorrow. Let's map that bitch out. Let's do a 3D model of that shit. And then make a museum out of that. Well, what the hell? Simple. Boom. That's all you niggas gotta do. This is a gravesite. It's just like going to the motherfucking tombstone, digging up every motherfucking body, and putting them niggas in a museum. You can't do that shit. And now bacteria is eating that shit. This shit ain't gonna be here that long. So we ain't got that kind of time. That's why everybody's trying to go down and see it. But make sure your equipment is up to use. Okay, if your shit ain't getting together, then you're going to be just like what the hell happened this week, and your ass is going to get fucked up, okay? And no disrespect to the people that died, but I'm just saying for future motherfuckers, before you take your punk ass down there, have efficient equipment to survive, nigga. Because we need you to bring back information that's vital for our motherfucking asses so that we know, okay? How long will a Titanic last underwater?
People used to assume that the very bottom of the oceans were a dead zone with little oxygen. We now know that the incredible global oceanic conveyor belt, which includes the Gulf Stream and the Mid-Atlantic overturning circulation, is responsible for feeding the deep ocean with oxygen and nutrients. So, from the time of sinking to, say, the late 1920s, the paint disintegrated as the iron beneath began to rust. Over the next 30 years, the rusticles began to form. We had thought that impossible without oxygen. Surprise! There is oxygen and a newly discovered bacteria that helps the rusting process. The rusticles are possibly bacterial colonies. In another 100 years or so, there will be a few scattered mounds of remaining rusty colored. The ocean is eating the wreck. The engines will be the last recognizable artifacts in a few centuries.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. So another 100 years, and that bitch gonna be gone. That's crazy. That's crazy as hell. Once again, I use that clip only in fair use. Don't come after me. Go subscribe to the mother lovers, because in channels like that, they gonna come from my natural black ass, and I want to say I love y'all. So go subscribe to them. Make sure you hit the like on their damn videos, and I use the clip in fair use for educational purposes. I don't know how many times I got to say that shit. But if you ain't gonna find a Titanic in 100 years, why won't you find bodies on a Titanic?
This is what people touched. It's what they lived with. Amazing.
Yeah, outstanding. It's crazy. Those shoes would theoretically be people's headstone, just minus a name or a picture of them. That's crazy. It's crazy to think about. And them old school shoes was, I ain't gonna talk shit because it's dead. But if they was alive, what the hell did you get them from? Pay less? Pay even more less? You know what, nigga, had these for free. Is that where the hell you got them from? Nigga, please, Lord have mercy. And maybe shoes was different back then, because them motherfuckers are still, you got rust rotting away as far as eating the motherfucking Titanic inch by inch, to where in 100 years that bitch ain't even gonna exist no motherfucking more. But them shoes gonna be right the hell there. Amen. Lord have mercy. We need shoes like that today. Because you put some punk ass Jordans down there, them motherfuckers ain't lasting. Amen. But once again, why no bodies were found on the Titanic?
These shoes were from the people on the Titanic. But have you ever wondered why the bodies and skeletons of those people were never found? The reason is that the Titanic sank in freezing water, causing their bodies to decompose rapidly. And now, only shoes and clothes are left behind as evidence of the tragedy.
Interesting. Well, I don't know if it's just the cold, because usually when niggas die, they are put on ice, put in cold situations, because cold air will prevent the decomposing as quickly. But maybe it's the element of the salt that's in the water that decompose the bodies even more. That would make more sense than you saying the cold water, because when your punk ass die, you're gonna be put on ice until your punk ass funeral. You put ice on a motherfucking ground, it's gonna eat it away. Ice will even eat away your car paint. So if salt could eat away your car paint. Salt could eat away ice on the motherfucking ground. I'm from Chicago. I know all about it. Okay? If salt can take away your car paint, which stays in your car forever unless you get a piece of chip off that motherfucker, then what the hell you think salt gonna do to your motherfucking punk ass, weak ass skin, limbs, and flesh and all that bullshit? It's gonna eat that shit up, with the addition of you decomposing. And I can even take a further point and say, I bet the bodies last, well, maybe not. Let me shut the hell up. Because that salt was eating their ass away. Okay? So niggas, I use that clip and fair use, but once again, come with your facts all the way there. Okay? Because we trying to make sure we educate people. And I know I talk ignorant, but I'm very educated. Okay? And I need logic to run all through this motherfucker. You can't just tell me something and me take it at face value, nigga. It gotta make sense. Okay? The Titanic survivors, one Titanic survivor claimed that the ice cube didn't destroy the ship. Okay, then what the hell did, nigga?
This Titanic survivor claims an iceberg didn't hit the ship. Vananak Bayarat was a survivor of the Titanic. He shared room 804 with two Englishmen and a Frenchman. The Frenchman was named Morin, and they quickly became friends. On April 15th, 1912, at midnight, they heard a loud explosion that woke them up and made them fall out of their beds. They rushed out of the room to find out that the ship was sinking. Since they had no other options to try and survive, they all jumped into the sea with nothing but their safety vests. But unfortunately, when they hit the water, they were all separated and never found each other again. Vananak quickly ran out of strength due to the extremely cold water, but he managed to survive thanks to Mrs. Astor, who happened to pass by him on a lifeboat. She begged him to get in with her because she thought he was her son. He managed to reach the United States alive, but he never said anything about hitting an iceberg. He always said that the reason that the Titanic sank was due to an explosion. Now, I'm not saying that it didn't hit an iceberg or it did hit an iceberg, I'm just telling this guy's story.
Wow. But the nigga was asleep. So how I don't know. I don't know. How the hell would he know if it hit the iceberg or not? Not a lot of people knew that it hit the damn iceberg. They just thought the bitch was turbulence. Especially if you're in your bunker. And something tells me this nigga wasn't the most richest bastard. So he wasn't all out in the open on the decks and shit. He was in them chambers down below where the poor people was at. Got his punk ass up out of there, jumped out that motherfucker, and got saved by the bell because the bitch thought that he was that the nigga was her son. Seems like the nigga just wasn't aware of his motherfucking surroundings and survived to tell the tale. Okay? So I'm not finna tell. Once again, we gotta take this information with logic and understanding. We're not finna just say some bullshit just to get clicks and shit. We're gonna be real about it. Now there's a theory speaking of this shit, there's a theory that says the Titanic never sank.
There is a theory that the actual Titanic never sank, and the shipwreck at the bottom of the Atlantic, that's a different ship called the Olympic. You see, the Olympic was owned by White Star, which was the same company that owned the Titanic. And in 1911, the Olympic crashed into another ship and became badly damaged. And this is where the conspiracy begins. They claim that because the two ships looked identical, the company swapped them out. The actual Titanic would now secretly go on as the Olympic, and the true Olympic, now operating as the Titanic, would be involved in a planned accident so they could collect insurance money.
I'm pretty certain I did a school project on this shit because the white, whatever the hell they called, they done lost a lot of ships. Okay? So, to say that they used the Olympic had an actual gash because they crashed into another motherfucking ship. Okay? Which we're gonna cover a bitch that was on all of these motherfucking ships that the white Olympic, white sails, or whatever the hell they call. J.P. Morgan owned the bitches. Okay? And damn near all that nigga ships crashed. Okay? So, but that's interesting. That's interesting to think. Let's take a look at this. Because this bitch gives details, goddammit. She gives us the motherfucking tea. Okay? This Titanic mystery has left people baffled for years.
The Titanic sank in April of 1912 and is probably the most well-known nautical disaster of all time. Despite it being a household name, there are many things that we still do not know about the ship and its journey. J.P. Morgan was the owner of the company that owned the ship and at the time was one of the wealthiest and most powerful people on the planet. He was supposed to be on the ship but decided to back out at the last minute, leading people to believe that he knew the ship was going to sink. Other facts that lay credit to this theory are the lack of lifeboats and ignoring the recommendations for more, the locking away of binoculars that would have revealed the iceberg, and the fact that many of Morgan's rivals were on the ship. People believe that this was both an act of insurance fraud and a way for Morgan to ensure his continued financial success, as all of Morgan's top rivals passed away in the event.
So people are thinking like, hey, maybe he switched out the ships, knowing that the bitch wasn't ready to go. Switched out the names on the motherfuckers. All of his motherfucking rivals, which is crazy as hell, because if I got a rival, I'm not gonna be on this nigga's ship. What kind of shit was y'all on? If I got a rival, nigga, I'm gonna get my own motherfucking ship. Okay? But all his rivals on his ship, he was supposed to be on the ship, but decided to call off last minute. This is the grand Titanic, the unsinkable ship. I mean, I don't give a damn. If it's this big grand thing, why wasn't he on it? Unless he knew it wasn't safe. I mean, that makes sense. Logically, that makes a lot of fucking sense. And that's why I'm losing my voice, so I'm having to push my voice out a little harder. It might sound a little squealy, might sound a little annoying. I'm sorry, bastards. I noticed that after work. My throat started hurting a couple days ago. I'm losing goddamn vocal strength in this motherfucker. So I gotta hurry up and end this motherfucking show, because I gotta go my punk ass to bed. Okay? But hey, that makes sense. Let's take a look at this nigga expressing if they were switched.
There's a lot of confusion online about how Titanic's name was actually applied onto its hull. Conspiracy theorists online would have you believe that Titanic's name was simply bolted onto the side of the ship, which made it really easy to swap out with its sister ship Olympic in order to commit insurance fraud. But it's just not true at all. Titanic's name was actually etched into the ship's steel hull plates in letters that were 18 inches or 45 centimeters tall. Now, only the outline of the letters were actually etched into the side of the ship, and then the inside of those letters was painted in a golden yellow color. There actually wasn't a lot on Titanic that even carried the ship's name, and most heavy machinery parts were simply stamped with the Titanic's builder's number, which was 401. Today on the wreck of the Titanic, you can actually just make out the letters that spelled out the ship's name on the bow. They're barely visible, but they're definitely there.
Interesting. I don't know if y'all heard that on my end. I couldn't hear the shit. I might have to make the shit soundable for me, but shit. And yes, I just made that motherfucking word up. For any of you ignorant niggas trying to correct my English. We being ignorant today. Not ignorant. Ignorant. Okay? God damn it. Y'all niggas this, especially my baby mama. TT Tata. I'm from England. Ha ha. You said the wrong word. Bitch, I don't. Shut your ass up and go to bed. God damn it. So, Titanic hit an iceberg and began sinking hundreds of years ago in April. God damn it. This nigga say today, but nigga, it ain't today.
110 years ago today, the Titanic hit an iceberg and sank. This is how it happened. At 11:40 p.m. on April 14, 1912, Titanic collides with an iceberg. The watertight doors are closed, but the damage is too extensive and water pours into the ship. At midnight, the captain orders the lifeboats to be prepared while they continue to inspect the extent of the damage. At 12:20, the band starts playing. By 12:25, Thomas Andrews confirms to Captain E.J. Smith the Titanic will sink. Shortly after, passengers are ordered into lifeboats. At 12:40, Lifeboat 7 becomes the first boat to be launched, carrying only half its capacity. And many of these early lifeboats are launched half full because passengers are hesitant and don't believe Titanic will sink. At 12:47, the first distress rockets are fired, and by 1:15, the water is up to Titanic's nameplate and the list is becoming more noticeable. By 1:30, there's the first signs of panic as people realize there aren't enough lifeboats for everybody and the ship is sinking quickly. At 2:05, the last lifeboat is launched. At 2:17, the ship breaks in half and finally sinks at 2:20 on April 15th, 1912.
Okay. I didn't even cover the fact that they said that it wasn't switched between the Olympic because of nigga whatever. Okay, all right, you wiggled your way out of that one. I used that clip in fair use. I used this clip in fair use. Now one of the ships thought it was. Listen, guys, I'm rolling off the rails, and we're gonna keep it pushing because I just forgot where the hell I was in the show. The most haunting object found in the Titanic wreck.
In the Titanic's wreck, many objects are seemingly frozen in place where people last left them, and none are perhaps so haunting as this water jug and drinking glass. These were placed in passengers' cabins every day by stewards, and they were placed onto sideboards in the passengers' cabins. Those sideboards had little wooden rails to keep the glasses from sliding out during rough weather. When the Titanic sank, this sideboard kept its contents in place. And the fact that the water glass is upright instead of upside down, which is how stewards usually put them in place, tells us that on the night of the sinking, the passenger of this cabin probably had a sip of water from this very glass.
Damn. Yeah, bro, that's crazy as hell. That's crazy and deep. Now, did you know this about the Titanic? Once again, I'm using this guy's clips and fair use. Go, Ocean Liner Designs. Go, make sure y'all subscribe, bro. Because this dude really professional, suit and tie. I like his vibe, bro. Y'all go subscribe to this motherfucker.
One thing often erroneously claimed as a goof in the movie Titanic involves two very famous scenes where the main characters go to the very front of the ship to do their thing. In real life, there were signs clearly posted there saying that passengers were not allowed forward of those signs because of all the heavy, dangerous equipment that was littering the area. A lot of people online say, therefore, it would be impossible for Jack and Rose to do their flying scene because passengers weren't allowed up there. But in reality, that's not exactly true. In real life, passenger Helen Candy snuck up to the very front of the Titanic on the ship's last morning and watched the sunrise in the exact point that Jack and Rose would have stood in the movie. She was a first-class passenger, so whether or not she had permission to do this or whether or not the crew were actually policing the rule remains a little bit unclear. But she wrote about the experience and she found it very profound. So it goes to show that sometimes real life can be just as dramatic as fiction.
Hey, she was first class. The bitch had some goddamn pool. Get the fuck out of my way, you broke bitch. I can be up here if I want to. If I want to die on this motherfucker, I will pay for it, you broke bitch. So be a crew member. If this bitch sink, your bitch ass is gonna die on it any fucking way. So just let me be the white person, rich bitch that I am. And let me go sit on the front of the motherfucking ship and watch the sunrise, you broke bitch. That's what the bitch was on. They was like, all right, damn, ho, damn. All right, bitch, give me $1 and I'll let you go. Here, you fucking broke-ass, dirty mother. You're lucky you aren't black. I would call you a nigger, okay? The fuck? You broke bitch. Let me go out and enjoy my views. The fuck? Okay? Last Titanic survivor with living memories of the sinking ship.
As many of you know, all the Titanic survivors are now dead. But there is one survivor that's rarely ever talked about, and that's this lady here, Lillian Asplund. Now, she's very interesting because she was the last survivor with actual living memories of the disaster. And even though she was the last person with actual memories of the disaster, she spent pretty much her whole life trying to forget those memories. So this is her story. Lillian boarded the Titanic with her mother and her father and her 4 brothers, and they were all heading back to the US. She vividly recalls being passed through a window of the A-deck promenade, so that would have been right here, and looking up and seeing her father and her 3 other brothers still on deck. And she said that their faces haunted her for the rest of her life. Lillian survived the sinking with her mother and one of her brothers, and they were all pretty traumatized for the rest of their lives. Now, when Lillian passed away in 2006 at the age of 99, they discovered a box full of Titanic artifacts that no one had seen before, which included an original copy of their Titanic ticket.
Real quick, that's all wow. I used the clip in fair use, but furthermore, I forgot this point about J.P. Morgan. Supposedly on his deathbed, he said that the Atlantic wasn't the Atlantic, but that it was the... oh, shit. Siri, never mind, ho! This bitch is fucking shit up for my show. Get this shit out of here. God damn. Ah, hell. Basically saying it wasn't the Titanic, but the Olympic. Which, I need to verify that. Before I come telling y'all niggas that that's what J.P. Morgan said on his deathbed, we need to verify that. Clearly, I didn't have a clip saying so. So just take that as it is. Do your Google research. The nigga probably admitted it, and it might be motherfucking true. And if it is, he's the most cold-blooded, killing bastard in the history. And now we got this nigga's banks all over the motherfucking place. Which, the banks ain't bad. Pretty good bank. Nice app and shit, nice color cards. Nice, okay? But the nigga done killed all his rivals. Anyway, look at a bitch that was on all them motherfucking ships, okay? And survived them all.
This woman might have been the most unlucky person to have literally ever lived. This is Violet, and she had a long career as a ship's nurse and stewardess, and also happened to be on board 3 major shipwrecks on ocean liners. The first happened in 1911 when she was working aboard the Olympic, which was a huge passenger ship that ran into another ship. The Olympic barely made it back to port, and Violet got off without injury, but 2 years later, she gets a job on another unsinkable ship you might have heard of called the Titanic, and she ends up escaping that one in lifeboat 16 somehow. And then after that, she gets on the Britannic, which was in the agency during World War I, and it runs into a mine planted by a German U-boat and sinks. But as it's sinking, it sucks her down underneath the ship, and she ends up sustaining a skull fracture. But even that couldn't kill her. After surviving 3 shipwrecks, she wasn't going down to a head injury.
That's a one resilient bitch right there. Lord, I'm no disrespect to you. God rest your soul, but bitch, you are resilient. Okay, no kind of shipwreck can fuck you up. Okay, this bitch. Hey, anytime a shipwreck is going down, I'm strapping that bitch next to me, bitch. I'm going where you going. We might get our head busted and all, bitch, but we are surviving with you. God damn it. And just clear history fact, J.P. Morgan owned all three of them motherfuckers. And they all crashed and failed. Once again, J.P. Morgan, don't ever take your motherfucking ass and buy another motherfucking ship. And don't get on another motherfucking J.P. Morgan ship in this motherfucker. You will die or the bitch will sink. The White Star, whatever the fuck that company J.P. Morgan owned, all of the ships, it was three identical ones. The Britannic, the Titanic, and the Olympic. And all three of them motherfuckers just got sunk. God damn. Lord have mercy. The Olympic almost sunk. But then they tried to repair the shit and all that. But everything else, all them other Britannic, Satanic, all them motherfuckers went down to hell. Okay? Now here's some dark facts about the Titanic.
Morbid facts that you didn't know about the Titanic, Part 2. The original owner of Macy's died on the Titanic. He refused to board a lifeboat before women and children, and his wife refused to leave without him. They were last seen holding hands on the deck and were portrayed as the old couple in the movie who were holding hands as the ship went down. A boy named Frank Goldsmith Jr. survived the sinking, then moved to a home near Tiger Stadium in Detroit. But he never took his boys to a ball game because the cheers of the crowd reminded him of the screaming of the passengers on the Titanic. Many survivors, however, claim that hearing all the screams wasn't even the worst part. The only thing creepier was the fact that all the screaming stopped at the same time and was followed by complete silence.
I mean, yeah, because you got fucking hypothermia kicking the fuck in. About that time, realistically, every motherfucker's in this cold-ass water. Yeah, everybody gonna shut the hell up at the same time when they die in this motherfucker. Or they lose vocal capabilities like my punk ass is doing. That's crazy as hell, though. I use that clip in fair use, man. Here's some scary Titanic facts no one knew.
Scary Titanic facts no one knew. Did you know an author predicted the sinking of the Titanic 14 years before it happened? Morgan Robertson wrote the book The Wreck of the Titan. The story is exactly the same as the sinking of the Titanic, but he wrote it 14 years before the Titanic sank. Did you know a lifeboat was scheduled for the same day the Titanic sank, but it was cancelled for unknown reasons? This could have saved many of the passengers and crew, but to this day no one knows why the lifeboat was called off. Did you know a nearby ship could have easily saved many people on the Titanic, but they didn't? The captain of the nearby ship saw the Titanic's flares, but he assumed these were fireworks. He only realized the next morning that they were SOS signals.
What type of... Now come on, bitch! Now who the fuck is gonna be in the middle of the Atlantic shooting off fireworks, motherfucker? When you knew beforehand that there was the Titanic was going in an area full of icebergs. It was warnings sent out before the niggas went there. They're like, well, we're an unsinkable ship. We can keep pushing it. In fact, push on the speed. So you see a SOS thing, your punk ass is like, you know what? I don't feel like saving no niggas today. Fuck them motherfuckers. They shouldn't have took their stank asses out there. We done told and warned them motherfuckers. Fuck that. Let's act like we went to sleep. You ever had a nigga call you and it's got a little late at night and you don't feel like talking to nobody? Bitch, I'm asleep. I'm not answering that. That's what the hell he did. Bitch, we are asleep. We cannot help you. And if he had took his punk ass over there, he would have saved a lot of motherfuckers. The furthest ship that was away brought they punk ass over and saved the remaining people. Fucking ridiculous. Disturbing facts about the Titanic going further into the motherfuckers that should have showed up.
Disturbing facts about the Titanic you didn't know. Now, we all know the Titanic hit an iceberg in the middle of the night and sank. But did you know while the ship was sinking, the captain sent emergency signals that got picked up by two ships, the SS California, who was only around an hour away, and the RMS Carpathia, who was a few hours away. But for some reason, the Carpathia was the one to get there first and was able to save the passengers. Unfortunately, around 1,000 people ended up losing their lives, but if the California had responded to the emergency call, they most likely would have gotten there sooner and been able to save almost everyone. And some people blame the captain of the California for all the death that happened on the Titanic. What do you think?
I think the nigga's guilty, Your Honor. The nigga is guilty as goddamn O.J. Simpson, bitch. And he cost all them people lives because of his lazy and funky ass. If you an hour away and you see my SOS signal, bitch, help me, nigga. Help me. God damn it. You could have had the baddest bitch of the West come from one of them niggas that was on the Titanic. And now you done fucked it up and messed it up for a nigga and his potential dream girl. Because you want to be a lazy bastard. And I bet the nigga was fat and going bald head up here. I bet it was one of them niggas. And modern day times, that nigga would have been a plumber. The nigga with the jeans coming down with booty crack showing and all that. Yeah. The hell, you lazy bastard. More chilling facts your punk asses didn't know.
Chilling facts about the Titanic that you didn't know. In 1912, on April 14th at 11:40 p.m., the Titanic hit an iceberg causing damage to the ship, and after a couple hours it broke in two and sank completely. While the ship was sinking, the crew sent emergency signals that were picked up by two ships, the SS Californian, which was the closest to the Titanic, and the RMS Carpathia, which was farther away. The Carpathia was the one that came and saved the passengers who survived the sinking, but if the Californian had responded to the emergency call, it could have saved more lives or even all of them. The Titanic had the capacity for 64 lifeboats, but in the end, only 20 boats were used. The actual number of people who passed away is unknown, but it's estimated that there was around 1,518 people. The names of all the passengers are also unknown. In the investigations, they found out that lots of them were traveling under false names, which is why some of the tombstones have no names.
Damn. I mean, Jack Poe ass and Titanic was going under some false premises. So, hey, they didn't have the type of, today they'll fucking do a background check on your ass quicker than hell. They didn't have that kind of technology back then, okay? But that's sad as hell. That's sad as hell. All right, 3 shocking secrets about the motherfucking Titanic.
Here are 3 shocking secrets about the Titanic that 99% of people don't know. Number 3. None of the Titanic's engineers survived its sinking. All 35 of them remained on the ship to keep the power on and died. Number 2. The remains of the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean will most likely disappear by the year 2030. Number 1. Did you know that there was a mummy on board the Titanic? The ship was carrying the mummified remains of an Egyptian priestess named Amun-Ra. Many people believe that she cursed the Titanic.
Could be. And could have cursed the motherfucking area. Could be. And all the motherfuckers died? See, that shit? This is why I couldn't be an airplane pilot. I couldn't be a motherfucking cockpit captain. Fuck that. Okay, niggas take over the ship. You can have this motherfucker. Okay, niggas try to rob me, some pirates and shit. You can have this bitch. Get me the hell up out of here. Okay? There was the most recent shipwreck happened. About 100 people died or some shit like that. Okay? The captain evacuated his ass on. He got the hell. I'm not going down with this ship. For what? Because of some technical difficulty? Basically, they were supposed to turn, and they fucking missed the turn a little bit and hit some rocks, and that's what fucked the whole damn ship up. Nigga said, I'm out of here. People was mad about the shit. Like, you're supposed to go down with the ship. You're supposed to die. What the fuck? If my punk ass has the ability to get the hell on, I'm getting the hell on. Everybody else fucking around, we ain't got time. We finna die. We getting the hell on. I need to be able to take care of other ships, goddammit. I'm fuck. The hell, my black ass would have been the hell up out of that too. They're like, well, why the hell why did you leave? There was some people you could, fuck that. Bitch, you pay me to be a captain of a ship, and I'm sure this shit ain't cheap. Okay? I am living. I'm spending my money, motherfucker. No, I'm not finna die and let my baby mama, my wife, my side chick, my raggedy ass kids spend my money. Hell nah. You got me twisted, motherfucker. I am surviving. I am survived, then I am gonna give up. I'm a survivor. You understand me? I would have been blasting that shit in the motherfucker on my way to help, okay? You got me fucked up. Now, I got 2 more clips, and y'all can kiss 3 more clips, and y'all can kiss my ass, okay? How did the Titanic refuel?
Refueling the Titanic was a long and difficult task, and it's no wonder why. To cross the Atlantic, Titanic would need to burn between 600 and 850 tons of coal per day. That's almost the weight of 3 school buses of coal burned every hour. Deep in the ship were bunkers used to store around 6,600 tons of coal for the round trip from Southampton to New York. Now those thousands of tons of coal had to be loaded into the ship by hand, bit by bit. Doors, called coaling ports, could be opened on the outside hull, and they featured a chute which ran straight down into the coal bunkers of the ship. Then deep, flat barges loaded with coal would pull alongside, and men would toil day and night to shovel loads of the stuff into buckets and swing them up and into the ports. Up on the promenade deck were these little triangular arm things called coaling outriggers, which could be used to swing up the buckets and load them into the ship. Now this back-breaking labour could literally last for days, but everything changed when ships turned over to burn liquid fuel oil instead. Now the refueling process took just a couple of hours, and there was no hand shoveling.
Well, that shit there, nigga, you got niggas dying to keep the ship running. I mean, that must be some work. Okay, you putting in hella goddamn work. Sweat, tears, and blood, goddammit, just to keep the ship running. 3 busloads of coal an hour? Oh, hell no. Did the niggas get breaks? Lunch included? How long was they sleep time? How much crew did you have to keep that motherfucker rolling? I need to know, goddammit, because, hell, you got all them staff members? No wonder why that motherfucker sank. Okay? If you lessen the load, okay, change the compartmentalizations or whatever the hell. I couldn't speak, okay? And I'm not finna try, okay? If you couldn't change the shit, then goddammit, then you don't need to be driving that motherfucker. If you need niggas killing themselves to operate that motherfucker, then hell, JP Morgan, you need to cut that bitch off, okay? Here are some strange features of the Titanic not a lot of people knew.
Fog at sea was obviously a really big problem. It was even more dangerous closer to shore. Foghorns on the shore could sound a warning, but in the fog, Titanic's crew might not be able to tell from which direction it was coming because the fog would distort the sound and play tricks. Instead, around the British coast, lots of buoys were installed that had bells slung underwater. These could sound a warning to approaching ships. Titanic had a device in its hull called a submarine signaler that could detect the sound of these bells from distances up to 15 miles or 24 kilometers underwater. The sound was picked up by what were essentially microphones installed on either side of Titanic's hull, and then the sound would be relayed through a normal telephone cable to a headset up on the bridge. Because there was a signaler on each side of the ship, if you could hear the bells coming from the left-hand side signaler, it meant that the danger was probably off somewhere to your left. If you could hear it coming from the right-hand side signaler, obviously it was somewhere off to your right. If you could hear it coming through both, it meant you were heading straight for it. It was a really clever device, but unfortunately, it didn't really help much with iceberg detection.
Yeah, well, I mean, pretty much, shit. I don't know what the hell that feature is for, goddamn. Go subscribe to that guy. Once again, I've been using all your clips in fair use. So don't come after me. I appreciate you because you taught us a lot. Last clip of the day. Did you know in Titanic.
Did you know in Titanic, the post-sinking scenes were shot with a 350,000-gallon tank? Frozen corpses were created by applying a powder to the actors that crystallized when exposed to water. Wax was put on their clothes and hair to create a wet look.
Wow, that's crazy. No wonder why I left that as the last clip, because I'm finna take my punk ass to bed. But first, I gotta watch the Titanic tonight. So that's what I'm finna do. Hopefully you enjoyed the motherfucking show. Hopefully it was informational like a motherfucker. I said I wasn't gonna go over an hour, and I done went an hour and 37 goddamn minutes. So with that being said, I'm going to bed and watching Titanic. Hopefully you bastards do too. Make sure you hit the motherfucking like. If you ain't subscribed, what the hell you doing? Go ahead and subscribe, motherfuckers. I'm gonna do a poll very soon so I can have an idea of the next video. Y'all make sure y'all go to my community tab and vote, goddammit, so I know what the hell to cover next, so I can get these shows knocked out. I'll be pushing them later down in the week. Nigga, first is Thursday, then we push it to Friday, goddammit. Now we're pushing it to Saturday, goddammit. It's cause I ain't got the ideas. I need a topic that's strong enough to generate some kind of motherfucking views to get niggas watching these shits. And the only way to generate substantial views is for you punk ass niggas to watch, to hit the goddamn like. So help your brother out, hit the like, and holla at my black ass.
Looking at this. Holla, 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 holla. Holla, 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 let me holler at you, 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 let me holler at you. Holla, 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 holla.
Hey, yo.